In this video, I'm going to show you the one simple thing that a school did to see a 150% jump in their math proficiency scores and how they transformed their campus into the only 5-star elementary school in their area. What I've learned is that many teachers feel like if we just cover the content, that students are going to learn stuff. But that's actually really far away from how learning actually happens. Before I learned this one simple thing, I used to end days of teaching feeling like I did a good job, but the results on quizzes or exit tickets told a different story. Imagine you're the passenger in a car driving through a city that you've never visited before. You're technically there, but if I handed you the keys the next day, you'd probably get lost unless you had a map. The reason for this is because you weren't the one making the driving decisions. You hadn't put in the practice or given the time to learn the roads. In too many of our classrooms, teachers end up being the drivers while students are just the passengers. It feels like we're working really hard, like we're planning good lessons, but nothing changes. Math scores are still low, attendance is still down, engagement is still poor. So what if instead of buying a new curriculum or trying a new schedule or reinventing the way that things are done at your school, you just simply gave teachers a way to see exactly when they needed to hand over the wheel to the students to let them have a drive? Now, that's exactly what leaders did at Liberty Point Elementary. They gave their teachers a way to see the current reality of their classrooms in real time, to know exactly when they needed to transition and give the students a little more time in the driver's seat. And every single time they did this, the data they got back pointed to one simple thing: teacher talk time. It's not really that revolutionary of an idea. You know this as well as I know this, that the amount of teacher talk versus student talk is an important ratio to get right in a classroom. The problem is many of your teachers, contrary to popular belief of the students, are not robots that get plugged in at the end of the night, which means they don't have the ability to calculate the percentage of time they're talking versus students talking in real time. But the good news is that you can use a tool like Sibme that can do that for your teachers. Here's how it works. A teacher could record a lesson that they're teaching and using Sibme's AI insights, get a breakdown of the percentage of time the teacher is talking against the percentage of time that students are talking. If a teacher sees that they're talking 85% of the time, that's a pretty clear indicator that they're the ones driving and the students need a little more time behind the wheel. The other thing that you can do with the data that's available with this AI report isn't just about the amount of time that teachers are talking versus students are talking, but it breaks it down even further to things like open-ended and closed-ended questions. If the majority of the questions a teacher is asking are closed-ended questions with one simple answer, well, changing those to open-ended questions is a really easy way to get more from the students and provide them more opportunities to drive and to have the experience of learning. By just changing 5 closed-ended questions into 5 open-ended questions, teachers were moving students into the driver's seat at Liberty Point. And what happened was that's exactly when they started to see jumps in their math proficiency. So rather than asking simple questions like, what's the answer? They were asking questions like, how did you come to the answer? Or how do we know this answer is right and this answer is wrong? It allows there to be this really cool shift in cognitive load. Rather than teachers doing all of the telling, students are having the experience of teaching their peers, of sharing their ideas. And the only way that teachers were able to know how often they needed to switch those questions was because they could see it. The best part is that all of this data they were collecting using Sibme didn't come by having a coach or an administrator in the teacher's classroom putting the pressure on them to perform well, that always feels really evaluative and kind of scary. It was teachers that had the ability to do this on their own time in a protected space. They didn't have to share the video with anybody. Heck, they didn't even have to watch the video because the AI report runs regardless of if you watch it or don't watch it. You get the same data. And so it was a very easy way for the teachers at this elementary school to be reflective on their practice, to know exactly when to hand the keys over to the students and give them that time behind the wheel, driving the learning experiences rather than just being passive participants sitting in the back seat sipping on a juice box. What you get when you use a system like Sibme is a culture at your school where students are doing the thinking, the talking, and the problem solving, and teachers are there to guide them along that process. That's exactly how Liberty Point was able to grow their math proficiency by 150%. Think about an area of growth on your campus that seems to have stalled. Is it possible that your teachers are just working too hard and they don't even realize it? What would it feel like to walk into one of your teachers' classrooms to see students doing the talking and leading discussions? That's exactly what we do at Sibme. We provide the support and tools that leaders and teachers need to see exactly what's happening in their classroom so that every moment is a teachable moment.
I can't see the end, but we'll see it through.